Okay, so we're back. Just like I said, hopping over right to the next one. To anyone first, like maybe finding this video first, I am basically just kind of in the middle of the Hypnagogic archive video, and I decided I would do just watch another one on at the same time. But yeah, as in short as I could put it, welcome back to another video. For y'all who just hopped over to this one, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, sending out a lot of love. This one is Heron observations, and then I'll go take my break. I'm doing all right now. Drink a sip of tea, and then I think I should be good again. As always, I forget to say, but if you're enjoying the content, leave me a subscribe and become a founder. If not, it's totally okay. You just being here watching, I'm gonna die because of my throat. Don't acknowledge it. No, I'm healing. All right, let's do this. Let me throw this out here. Oh yeah, that was a little Easter egg in the last one. If you remember the last video, that was crazy. I went through a time loop, and it appeared back here. Oh, some astral entity got loose and is fucking with me. Okay.
So, Genetic Opportunity is my fifth favorite. This next one, Heron Observations, is my third favorite. Heron Observations was originally posted to the Petomale Museum Night Shift on their local network in January of 1988. Essentially, this is a closed-circuit communication between the members of museum staff, more particularly the museum's night guard. The first message reads, "Hi everyone, my name is Deborah. I'll be taking care of the wildlife collection on the third floor after hours. As you all know, you had an incident last month involving some looters, and I aim to keep the collection safe. That said, I am looking forward to spending the night here. Your collection is invaluable to wildlife researchers across the state and the country, and having spent last night touring the grounds, I am in admiration and a bit of shock as to how well your specimens are preserved. They're very lifelike. Your taxidermist did an excellent job."
Oh my gosh, is this gonna turn into like a night at the museum? Like she's gonna say some of the what is it? The preserved specimen have come to life. That'd be crazy. Or she found them in different positions. That would be even more sick. Is that if they didn't come to life, but they were found like in multiple places around the, should I say, facility? Yeah. And she's spending the night.
Harry, who seems to be the head of either the night security or the museum itself, welcomes Deborah on the message board. In the next entry, Deborah describes an account of her first night on the job. The night seems to be routine except for one peculiar mention. The night was mostly uneventful and consisted of routine walks save one incident at 1:54 a.m. I found that a specimen of yours, a great blue heron, had tipped onto its side. I had a screwdriver on hand, so I opened the case and popped it back up. Whether this is due to negligence on your part or some sort of vandalism, I can't say. Though it's certainly puzzling. Why thieves would bother putting the bird on its side and then leave it, moreover screwing the front of the case back on, is baffling to say the least. Please get back to...
No way, bro. Are they like still alive? Preserved? I don't even need to say more. We just continue. Like, that's the only thing I'm taking from this. Holy shit.
to me on this. Thanks. In the next message, Marquez, the aforementioned guard from the 4th floor, gives more insight to the previous incident at the museum. I guess it makes more sense to split the floors up, because when the looting happened, I was up on the 4th floor. I never really went down to the hall anyway. I'm glad I wasn't fired, but seeing the broken glass everywhere and the seal gone really upset me. That thing you mentioned about the heron being tipped on its side is weird. Negligence wouldn't do that because I talked with our taxidermist and he always bolts the specimens onto their stands to keep them in the correct position. Throughout the next entry, we get the description from Deborah of what happened on the next night. The storm broke once I got to the museum. It was pouring when I got to the doors. I said hello to Neil at roughly 11:50 and went upstairs to the hall, then sat down at my bench. No footprints, which would still be visible if someone had come in from the rain.
Right.
They would have left mud. I searched the premises thoroughly with my flashlight, but found nothing. At this point, I was able to resume my position until I noticed that the heron's case was empty. The pane had been screwed back on, and the stand was still in the case, though some feathers and a portion of the heron's lower rib cage remained bolted down. I regained my composure and hoped.
What the fuck is going on? Wait. I have to look this up. Herons? Like the one we have right here. Oh, you can't see my hand because it's behind the video, but are long-legged, long-necked, freshwater. I'm a child. Jeez. Freshwater and coastal birds in the family Ardata, with 64 recognized species. Blah blah blah. Hold on a second. So is this just okay? I mean, clearly, or it would look like I haven't been paying attention. No, man, I'm like confuzzled to want to say like what I want to say. I'm just coming back to why would a thief want this? You guys can't see my hand, but I'm over here like I'm talking with my hands Italian, you know? Cringe. It's alive. I'm gonna hold that, and I want to be wrong. Oh, Heron page. I want to be wrong.
Hope that the thief hadn't exited yet. I quickly aimed my flashlight in all possible directions. What happened next is something I can't explain. I noticed the heron standing upright in the middle of the hallway, directly in front of the entrance on the left. I believed the thieves were playing games with me, so I approached the heron before they could take it. Call it a trick of the light or a trick of the mind, the heron actually looked up at me and opened its beak. This dead thing, covered in feathers and embalmer's glue and formaldehyde.
Bro, I want one of these experiences, bro. You know what's funny? Is Wendigoon and like many of others who, if you know, I think he said in the beginning of the Hypnagogic archive is that like not a lot of people talk about this, or maybe they do, or like don't theorize a lot. There was something, but I could be wrong, so don't quote me on it. But it's just funny how it's always like either us, the viewer, the people making the content on this, so like Wendigoon. I'm actually pretty sure that Wendigoon, people like that read the creepypastas, or maybe not, maybe they just take an interest in it, have had weird shit happen in their life to want to make things or cover things like this. Because definitely for me, this is why I like watching this stuff and making my own videos and giving my comments on it. Because like I've had weird stuff happen. But I want weird things like this to happen. I want weird things like this. And I feel like careful what you wish for is really going to be a thing with me, because usually something weird will start happening if I keep saying that. Just what I've seen with my own luck. But I feel like this is a unique, like, come on, this is so cool. Like from the beginning I was like, oh, they have to be alive. Like I was just like in my mind I was like, oh, right off the bat it's going to be like a night at the museum. Love it. Love it. Imagine if this happened to you. You should put it down in the comments. What would you do if this happened to you?
And who knows what else.
And let me see. This whole section is the Heron observations. We got a lot to go. I'm so glad it's not over yet.
Moved its head of its own volition and opened its beak. Then it stood completely still, and I was pointing my flashlight at it. I touched it, and it was an inanimate object again. But so help me, I saw it move. I saw its teeth and its glazed stare, and it was absolutely horrifying. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Immediately afterwards, Neil, the guard who is supposed to be on the first and second floor, is very dismissive of Deborah's story.
I'm so sorry. And screw Neil. Dismissive of Deborah's story, man. She's telling the truth. Oh, this hood is a little bit tight. That felt so random for me to do. I don't know why.
Story. Otherwise, we go with Deb's version of events, where the Heron magically unscrews the case from the inside, screws the case back on with its magical feathers, walks out for no reason other than to scare her, and then turns back into an inanimate object. I respect you, Deb, but I can't in good conscience put that down in the record as the way things happened. I wasn't there, of course, but that's impossible. Harry dismisses Deb's story as well, but says that they have now installed CCTV cameras.
Oh, there you go. See, that's... Oh, I guess that works too. You could deny someone's story. I hate hearing that. Like, oh yeah, is it detest? I don't really use that word often, but oh yeah, I deny your story, but just in case we're gonna, implement security. Okay, I'm being really petty on like small details or small things, behavior. But it's just like, why not say, no, okay, if I was Henry, okay, if I was in Henry's place, let me not say in his shoes, I'd be like, you know what? I'm kind of interested to see if this is real and stay in the middle where it's like, I don't disagree or agree, but let's throw in some cameras. He's just like, nah, you're probably wrong, but let's put cameras in. Wait a minute, if there's looting and stuff going on anyways, why maybe not enough funding for cameras, I don't know.
Throughout the museum. That night, Neil makes another message on the board. Deb called me up a while back to look at something. Once again, she seems on edge. It's not as rainy tonight, but it's not exactly the most peaceful conditions outside, and in addition to that, I'm actually starting to believe her. When you come in tomorrow, Harry, to open up...
Wait a minute. It's storming outside. Okay, for people who've seen The Night at the Museum, but I can't remember. Wasn't it a stormy night every time? Okay. Not to spoil it for no one, it'd be insane if there is anyone who has not seen Night at the Museum. Maybe not. I could see realistically how you wouldn't see it, because people say that to me about other things, and I'm like, nah, I never heard of that. And they're like, what? So, okay, to the few people who have not seen Night at the Museum, if you really care, it's old, cover your ears. If not, basically, Night at the Museum, things come to life at night. But that's why I take back what I was about to say, because I was like, did it storm every time something happened in Night at the Museum? But it didn't. It was just at night they came to life. This is cool.
Up shop, you're going to notice the Heron case is broken. Broken glass all over, with the Heron still inside. And then finally we get Deborah's retelling of events. I got here at 8 p.m. and walked up to the exhibit, saying hi to Neil as I came in. I stand up, move toward the Heron. This is the part Marquez saw on the tape. My feet feel like lead. Whether it's because I'm scared of the bird or I'm scared someone will take it is insignificant, really. So I get up and walk toward the case, and sure enough, the Heron is out again. And the glass is staring at me, blank and unbroken. And the emptiness of the area is really starting to get to me. I'm sweating bullets by now, knowing that this thing could be in here with me. Not only in here, but out of its case. I turn around and it swoops right by me. Its wing gets real close to my face, and at this point I fire a load of bullets. 3, I think. The thing keeps flying at me. It goes back and then it comes right towards my face, making this horrible sound. Its talons ready to pull my hair out. I shoot it again, twice. It falls to the floor and twitches as it lies there. At this point, I notice that one...
Sounds like something out of fucking Resident Evil, bro.
...of the first 3 shots broke the Heron's case. Other 2 got lodged in the ceiling. That's the point where I leave the thing on the ground where it is and go get Neil. Its eyes are full of malice. It makes my shift an unsafe work environment. There are no criminals, Harry, just a possessed dead thing that wants to kill me. Please get rid of it. Please. Neil gets back onto the side and says that Deborah is lying because he never heard any gunshots. Neil thinks that Deborah is faking the entire thing and having a mental breakdown, and asks Harry if Neil himself can check her gun to prove that she never fired any rounds.
What? Okay, if this is top 3 on his list, it has to be insane. It has to be an insane twist. I feel like top 3 is really strong, but maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just hoping for a little bit more. But okay, so that right there really made it seem like it's in her head. Damn, man. Okay, let's go.
Harry says there will be no need to check her gun, Neil. I've dialed the sheriff's office up, and they should be there in a few minutes. I'm driving there myself, and I should be there by 4. Hopefully we can get this under control before we open. And then finally we get the last entry of the story, which is a post from Harry made 2 days later. I hope everyone enjoyed their day off. I think after the events of Monday night we all needed a little breather. Me and the rest of the board also took the day off. They've all been informed of what happened, and we're a bit shaken to say the least. Sheriff Carter still has no explanation for exactly what went on, but he chalks it up to suicide. After Deborah said she needed to go outside, she went back upstairs, scooped up the Heron, which was contributing to her delusions, locked herself in the bathroom stall, and systematically used the bird's beak and claws to disfigure her face. Seeing her lying like that, as the last few ounces left her face and her eyes were both ruptured, she was holding the Heron in one hand and staring at me. When Carter went out of the room, she beckoned me forward. She whispered into my ear, "It happened," and then she was out like a light. I know her death is tragic, and rationally, as a sane man, I need to accept that she was insane. Still, in the back of my head, I think about that bird. Think that if it were alive, and if there were something evil in it, not just the spirit of a bird, but something genuinely evil, that it could do what I had seen in the bathroom. It could be full of violent rage, that it could rip off chunks of flesh with its beak, sinew from sinew with those talons. The thing may have the blood cleaned off, but all the same, I still won't be able to remove the image of her cold hand clutching it by its feet, gripping onto them like she was in a mortal struggle, knuckles in a rictus phase. I can never put that out of my head. Is that irrational? I guess it is. I guess in some ways everyone's a little irrational. I wish you all the best of luck. Isn't that just such a cool little horror story? A night guard gets killed by a zombie bird. I love this.
That sent chills. That sent chills down my spine. That was good. That was good. That was really freaking good, bro. I see why that's top 3.
And while a lot of the stories in here, like the previous one, have some goofy vibes, and it's kind of self-aware about it, there is something viscerally awful about the idea of being mauled to death by a giant bird in a bathroom stall. Also, I think it's hilarious they just like scrape the blood off the bird and set it back up on display. But as mentioned earlier in the story, a similar thing happened with a seal. So it's not just that bird, it's everything in this museum is possessed by whatever nightmarish night at the museum apparition is present.
Oh,
the next story in for
he referenced it. The night, whatever night of the museum apparition is present. Okay, so never mind. It's like a freaking SCP. It's like a cognito hazard SCP, or an SCP with. Okay, guys, I'm still getting lost on the whole cognito hazard thing. So, it's just the SCP. I had an amazing comment, or just amazing comments from y'all, if you're SCP watchers, who explain the whole cognito hazard thing. So, it's I think it's the SCP, and then it can have a cognito warning if it like fucks with your mind. Okay, so it's basically that that place is actually or could be possessed. Dude, I might go on to watch these by myself. Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna make complete videos out. Oh, I feel so bad because I feel like I'm sitting here watching them with all of you. Okay, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna watch the rest. I'm not gonna turn these into. I already got, his conspiracy icebergs to get through. That was cool, But yeah, so it's like it happened with a seal. Oh my gosh. So something is driving them mad, bro. That is fucking cool. That's like, it's not cool because I was just saying how I kind of want to be in that situation, but I was talking about if the thing was actually coming to life, like they on the CCTVs, they were Rel. I'm gonna start telling people if I ever get like a part-time job, just call me Lunar. But Rel, get the hell out of there. You were telling the truth. I was like, I know. I know. Get your mind out of the gutter. Anyways, much love and moonlight. That is the Heron observations, and I'm going to watch the rest. So no, don't ask me to make videos. I may come back to them, possibly. That's what I think is so good about my live streaming or having a second channel, is if there's any videos someone wants me to revisit, I will. But I think with these, I cannot hold back from watching them on my own. And it's literally, I have other videos to get to, so it's like I was just going to watch this just to calm my throat and ended up making 2 videos because when you're in that flow state, but of what you're passionate about. But much love and moonlight. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And again, shout out to Wendigoon. Damn. It's so hard. Like while I'm editing videos, I'm going to literally be watching this. But I want to make this into a video also. Like watching the rest of them. It's a struggle. It's not. Okay. All right. Peace out, guys. Much love and moonlight.